Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. Hope you guys are doing well today. And we are back in a Halls of Valor 11 as a tank. About an hour ago, we did the Ruby life pools that you guys would have seen yesterday. Didn't go great, but didn't go horribly. Like, we managed to get through it, right? It was everyone else but the healer had an okay run. I then joined a Halls of Valor 14 as a DPS, and I think I wouldn't be underestimating it if I said that one didn't go so well. It was bad. It really was bad. The tank was like 370 eye level. He was dying on every pack just to damage, like he just couldn't be healed. The group had okay. They were decent, but they were taking too much damage. They weren't getting out of things. They weren't interrupting. I wasn't playing very well. It just turned into toxicity and it went bad. So we managed to get through the first boss, suffered through some more trash, and then basically went our separate ways. And my aim of this is not to never show bad runs, but I feel like I would show a bad run if we got far enough in the dungeon, or if it was a bad run because of something that is like you could learn by, or I could learn by, or anyone could. I don't know what there is to learn from this run, if I'm quite honest. It was just a really bad run. But we're back. We're back in an 11. I've already got a 13 we did last week on my warrior on time, so I'm not too worried about trying to get like a big time this week. We are getting our ass kicked a little bit. Please tell me my healer is a strong boy. And we get through the Drake. That hit extremely hard, or I took a lot of damage, and I'm not sure which. It seems our damage is relatively good, though. I'm not going to say it's amazing, but it's not bad by any means. I'm currently holding 45.5k, which is a little bit dumb considering I'm a tank. I'm going to hold it in the middle mainly because it's just easier to. So I'm going to go all the way this way now. Like, we don't have to move again now. You only really want to move once per phase. I would like to move it again to the middle. Personally, I'd like to keep it in the middle at all times, but groups do get a little bit angry if I do be moving around too much. Now I definitely am, because I'm not tanking it with a bloody blade on my head. Nice little shield block there. Got it off just before the bloodletting sweep. It is his tank buster. It's not really loads on an 11 non-tyrannical, but I mean, if you can help, why not, right? I presume these explosions are my new trinket, which gives me like a shield and does some damage. It's pretty weird, but like the animation itself is quite weird. But we move. So I need to clear, and that was rough. We had to clear at the same time we had to move, and for some reason he wasn't moving the same direction I was. Nice little shield block again there. We'll try and kill this explosive. So at the end of this, we're going to look at overall damage, interrupts, because this is a dungeon where interrupts can be very, very important. Not kicking a rune of healing, not kicking an etch can be quite bad. So it is one that is quite important for those. The other one is we're going to be looking at damage done to explosives. Why? Because it's explosive week. I'm going to go over this way past the sentinel. I'm going to pull them up the stairs. Now, there's one caster here. It's the Mystic. I'm immediately going to just turn around, face the Mystic, and the second he starts casting his first cast, he's moved now far enough. I'm actually not going to take him all the way up the stairs. I'm going to do this as a 3. Normally, you would take this upstairs and pull it with ease. That's 7 mobs, which means if they all wanted to spawn bloody explosives, you've probably got 3, 4, maybe 5 explosives there quite easily. Now, one thing with bursting is it isn't bolstering. You can chain pull things, and it's not a problem. Obviously, if you can have 5 stacks of bursting and the damage from another pack, that can be a little bit scary. But like right now, I can pull the next pack quite happily. Now, there's lots of casters here. There's the Rune Carver and the Mystic. Now, I'm not going to be able to focus too much on explosives, although I'll help if I can. I want to be making sure that these interrupts are going out. So we've kicked one rune of healing on the Mystic. Next one's going to go out anyway. So I'm going to move them out of that, apparently. Why are they not moving? Oh, they're rooted. Why are they... Oh, don't do that. That's horrible. The next kick we want is the Holy Radiance. So I stunned them. Still got another stun if I need to. I am getting healing reduction as well as armor reduction. So that was the Shadow Priest that put Void Tendrils out, which rooted them into the Rune of Healing. I can see the benefit of having that, but having that in this scenario, not ideal. So I'm hoping I'm the only person. I am safe here. Now, gonna pull this side. Also gonna pull the Shield Maiden and pull them over to here. You can do the other side early as well, but there's kind of just no need to at this point. Making sure we're kicking the Holy Radiance. Trying to keep as much of a shield, ignore pain, sorry, on myself as possible. Make these healing nice and easy. And yeah, I mean, so these mobs can be quite annoying. They do a armor debuff as well as a um, healing reduction. So between the two, if you have multiple of the mobs, you'll probably find that they'll rotate and have both on you like they do now. If there's more of them, they can obviously stack up, which means you can lose armor and healing very quickly in this dungeon. So it's one thing to be noted of. I'm gonna pull these and pull them back. Don't really want to pull the sentinel. I'm hoping we manage to get all of them, and looks like we're not because the rune carve is annoying. This is where I'm looking forward to playing my DK a little bit more. Failed my kick because I'm bad. I'm hoping someone's going to come and clear with me. They do. Lovely little tank perspective there in the fire. But this is where I'd like to play the DK. Having grip just makes pulls so much easier to orchestrate. And I think in a pug scenario, as long as you're not too yo-yo-y in health, they may be one of the better tank pugs now, especially with their damage increase. That was kind of the one thing that kept them out, is that they just couldn't keep up on the damage compared to everyone else. But now I think they will. I'm going to do these two just together and not do the two upstairs. And the reason for that is because they do that debuff. Now I outranged the first one. You can do that, but they can turn around and just slap the next closest person, which in this case was the rogue, and he did get slapped. So I'm going to try and be a little bit more considerate. Have got shield block on. Hopefully that will reduce my damage taken by quite a considerable margin as well. So yeah, next character we're going to do is Monk. It's going to be probably for 2 weeks again. And I'm quite looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an interesting experience. I haven't healed properly in a long time. I plan on playing quite a bit of PvP as well, mainly because just solo shuffle's so quick as a healer. I don't like doing rank 3, so it would just be solo shuffles, but that in itself can be really, really fun, and having a non-hour long queue is also going to be quite exciting for me. Yeah, so overall, I've got quite a lot to look forward to. I think the gear's going to come thick and fast, and I'm quite looking forward to playing them. They seem to be the thing that people are struggling to get at the moment. Even as a tank at the moment, I'm struggling to get keys occasionally, and I said this last week, but it's kind of because tanks are in such a good state at the moment. It's actually credit to Blizzard, ironically, that I can't get into keys because people want to play tanks, and that's a nice feeling, but not when I want to play a tank. Whereas healers aren't quite in the same position, and we'll talk about it more when I start playing a monk. But I think there's just I don't know. People used to play a healer because they wanted just to chill and play a healer. You don't get to do that now. If you're not healing, you should be full DPSing. It's less responsibility, I guess, in that, well, most tanks look after themselves nowadays. Um, I mean, even me in this, I'm keeping up with the healer in terms of healing, but I've healed myself for 6 million more. Like, he's not healing me very much. It really is just one of those things where it's like, you've lost a lot as a healer, and other roles have gained it, which is good for them, but not necessarily good for the role of healer. I like the idea of like what they did with Pally or Disc Priest, where they gave them a buff, a damage buff. Um, it just gives them more to bring to a group, I guess, outside of just I'm going to heal or do lots of damage. Try and get through this as quick as possible. You can go and pull the other one if you really want to be efficient. As soon as this one is like got through the first eye of the storm, you could go and pull the other one, but I'm not going to bother. I think as long as we don't majorly screw up, it's going to be very difficult for us to worry about um, actually not timing this. So he says that as soon as I start talking, I stand in mechanics or fail something. It's not good. It also probably doesn't help that it's 4 o'clock in the morning that I'm recording this. So a little bit of a personal route, but I've recently had some kind of breakthroughs with my with health issues that I've been having just generally over the last 5 years, basically. And they've kind of culminated into a couple of appointments with my doctor that hopefully will lead to some sort of answers over the next few weeks. The first of which is actually next week. So I'm hoping that I'll start getting into a little bit more of a routine. I'd really like to stream. Like, it's so frustrating that I can't stream. The two reasons why I can't stream is because sometimes I wake up and I just hate my life, and I really would struggle to stream, hold a conversation, and actually, yeah, just be a decent human being. But the second part then is that my internet is so bad. Now, if I can fix one of those, then I can work on the other. At the moment, having two issues, I just don't want to stream and work through them both. So I'm hoping that as sort of I start seeing some improvements in my personal life, the streaming might follow, and hopefully I can do things like this, but on stream, which is where I'd really like to get to in the long term. So get knocked to Africa. Going to keep throwing heroic throws. There's literally nothing else for me to do during that, so may as well just spam heroic throw and make sure my threat stays good. Although I doubt, in fairness, that I'm going to have many threat issues based on the fact that I'm actually beating a DPS currently, which is nice but surprising. So I am going to have to face him away again. I'm going to use Shield Wall Heal just to try and reduce the damage. Mainly because I didn't think we'd have to go this long. Otherwise, I'd have used it on one of the earlier ones. But yeah, so I'm hoping with the next couple of appointments, you may even see a change in things like videos, just like general attitude or things like that. Hopefully, a little bit of a weight loss, maybe one day. But yeah, so all going well. Hopefully, things will get better. And like I said, I'm sure it will have an impact on the YouTube channel in terms of uploads. Like, I already want to try and push my uploads a little bit more. We kind of plateaued recently in terms of views, and it's kind of fallen down a little bit. I mean, I'm still very grateful for the speed at which we have grown, and don't get me wrong, I'm really not unappreciative of that, but I think we can do more, and I think we can keep growing and do better and better and better. So that's kind of the next step for the channel, is get to that point. I really wish we'd stop stunning them in the healing circle of healingness. But yeah, so we'll get there. But yeah, so I think what's going to happen. So I'm going to kind of make a little bit of prediction for the channel now. We're going to do a couple of more weeks of characters. So next one's Monk. Spoiler: the next one after that is probably DK, of which I'll be probably a little bit more evenly tanking and DPSing as opposed to just tanking like I have on this one. It will probably be DPS where I can. I thought I'd pulled it. It'd probably be DPS where I can, and then tank when I definitely can't get keys. That was a little bit of a scary pull there. Let's try and stabilize a little bit. I'm actually going to try and pull them. I'd really like to pull them out. That would be my ideal scenario right now. I'm hoping people are going to follow. I'd like to break Thundering as well. That's it. So just tank them out here. Like, you got so much space out here. Ooh. And I missed my. I actually used my kick as well. Um, but yeah, so the next one will probably be, like I said, monk. After that, probably DK, as that's what I'm leveling next. Mainly because I want to play it, as opposed to like monk, where it just feels and looks good to play and is a healer. And yeah, so I'm probably going to try and get every character to like this sort of state where they're relatively geared. Um, they're not mentally geared, but they're good enough. They've done every key, which obviously this one hasn't yet, but already we're kind of 3 keys down this week. Try and get around that 1700, 1800 mark. And then what I'll probably do is at the end of the season, we're going to do a little mad dash just to see how many Keystone Masters we can get. Obviously, at the moment, we've got one in the Evoker already. But I think could be quite cool as like the last 2 weeks of the season just to try and mentally push and see how many we can get. I reckon if we try crazy hard, we could probably get a few, like 5, 6 easily. And obviously that will be the goal then for the next season is that every class is going to hit Keystone Master before the end of the season. Um, so yeah, I mean we've still got a while way to go. Now I'm going to do this pack mainly because it just makes percentage amazing, personally. Um, a lot of groups don't like doing it, and I understand the logic behind it, but it's just basically because of the marksmen. Ironically, they do a fair bit of damage, not loads. Um, are we just not dealing with explosives? Okay, I'll deal with them then. That's all good. Don't worry about me, guys. But it's because they jump like this, so you never get to stack them up properly, which is just annoying for DPS and whatever. I totally get the reasons for not doing the pack, um, but it just makes percentage like amazing. Now I still don't really have a route for this. I kind of just go as I go. Um, I believe my Mythic Dungeon Tools isn't working. What is it up top now? Why am I dying? Stop with death. Are explosives going off? Is that what I'm dying to? I really hope not. That would annoy me. So we're going to go into Fenrir anyway. But yeah, so we've got at the moment what 5 keys left to do. Algathar, I'd like to. So my aim at the moment is to do an Algathar kind of 13-ish. Shadow Moon Burial Grounds like 13, 15 even. I think we could do a pretty decent level of that. Court Stars is probably going to be about the same, somewhere in the like early to mid teens. Azure Vault will probably be like a 10 or a 12 just because I hate that dungeon and it's a pretty easy one just to kind of bin off. And then I have a Temple 13, which I'm hopefully going to find like a good group for, maybe even get um, the normal group that I play with on my Evoker to come and help me with that one. Get through it, and that should put me solidly around kind of the 1700, 1800 mark, which is a good like one night of pushing away from basically hitting 2k. So we can do that. Oh, the old battle tank. So I have like a random. I literally just have all of the mounts favorited, so I can use summon random favorite mount. Sometimes I see some really cool mounts that I haven't seen in a long time, and I really do appreciate it. Back in the day, and I say back in the day, like nothing's really changed. I just don't do it so much anymore. I used to be a massive mount collector. Like as soon as I found a mount, I wanted it. Especially like the really hard to get mounts or the meta achievement mounts. The mounts you can really show off or looked amazing. They were the ones I wanted. I don't really do it so much anymore, but like this season's Keystone Master mount is awful. It's a ground mount, which I don't mind it being a ground mount, but it's in an expansion where that holds zero benefit, really. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's another mount, I suppose. So we have Bloodlust up here. Do we use it? I'm going to say yes. And we'll get it back for Odin. We probably wouldn't have it back anyway for Heimdall. So Not Heimdall, Scovold. So yeah, I think we just bloodlust here. If they don't choose to, they don't choose to. I very often don't talk at all in keys. What about you guys? Like, do you guys talk a lot in your keys? I find it is quite distracting sometimes to talk in keys. It can be quite just off-putting to try and hold a conversation and be focused on percentage or whatever else you're focusing on at the time. Um, Even in like higher keys in comms, I very rarely talk, which I suppose is weird for you guys because like in videos, I'm talking through videos all the time. But um, yeah, in normal keys, I very rarely type anything, and that kind of comes from a League of Legends days where typing typically got you banned, and definitely has had me banned in the past. But um, I suppose if you got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, right? But no, I mean, even if they're doing well, I very rarely do more than like a good job or whatever. It can be so easily misinterpreted, and that's something that I really do worry about in WoW and just online stuff in general. Is that the misinterpretations can go so horribly bad that if someone misinterprets you, it can be really hard to try and recover that. And in a key where you've only got that short, sharp interaction with people of like half an hour. In this case, I've been in the group with these people for like 23 minutes. Like they don't know who I am, they don't know what I'm about. If I called one of them a name, it might be in jest for me, but they may see it any which way, and it's not really fair. So I think we're going to get a yak meh. Oh, that's a really nice Shroud, actually. Do you know what? I kind of forgot that Shroud was in the game. Did we all get through, or are we just gonna? Oh, we did. Nice. I kind of forgot Shroud was in the game. Is it just an outlaw spell now, or is it just something that most rogues don't like using? That's a damaging healing ability have a chance to echo in time. I've never seen that embellishment. I don't know what that is, but looks cool. My MDT isn't working, so I don't actually know what the percentage I need for upstairs is. So I'm going to ask. I mean, it's going to make me look like a bad tank. 84. So kill this pack. Probably have to kill the Sentinel. Don't really want to play a triple Sentinel, but I mean, we might have to. I think, yeah, I think even that we're not going to have enough with triple Sentinel. So we go and pull the 3 back on the left, I think is the play. Yeah, I'm going to go and pull these. I'm going to say this was my plan all along, but I'll be honest, I just haven't looked into the roots for Halls very much. Mainly because I don't plan on tanking it that often, and the other reason is I only come into halls if I've got a purpose. So like today, I'm doing it for score, or like my priest, I was farming it for Horn of Valor. That's a good purpose. I'm not coming in here because I'm bored. Like no chance. I'm hoping we just pull these two, and we're going to have pretty perfect percentage actually. We could pull them upstairs. Not going to, mainly because I can't bothered. But and bam. So, what's your guys' favorite dungeon of Dragonflight so far? And that can include. I'm going to say it can include the like Mythic Plus dungeons as well, like Temple and Halls. But yeah, what's your favorite kind of dungeon so far? I'd have to argue. I'd have to argue Notharis actually. I think it's going to be a very good. Is it Neltharis? What's it called? Yeah, Neltharis. I was doubting myself. I think it's going to be a very good Mythic Plus dungeon when it comes. Assuming we're getting the other 4 dungeons for the next season of M Plus, oh my lordy! Like Brackenhide, Halls of Infusion, Alderman, Notharis. Alderman's not bad, but it's got some nasty mechanics that people just don't understand. Notharis, he's going to be okay, although actually a big heal check. He's going to be a joke. That's going to be a massive healing check, and that's going to be like a mechanic healing check. It's going to be quite a tough dungeon. Halls of Infusion, first boss is going to be easy. Second boss is going to be easy. Third boss is going to destroy groups, and I think fourth boss is low key going to be quite good. Brackenhide, I don't even think it's the bosses that are going to be a pain in the ass in Brackenhide, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. That's to say the least. Try and keep it in the Shadow Crash, but I'm going to move it over because there's not really a reason to. I haven't really got a reason other than I want it. I want to. So what are you going to do about it? But yeah, I think in terms of gear, I'd like to before the end of season push, I'd like to get this to around the 400 eye level mark. Now that's quite a way away still. Um, but I think actually we upgrade the crafted items that we've got to 392. That helps us. We've got the Valor Cap thing coming out soon, which means if I really wanted to, I could just go and spam like level 2 keys all day long and I'd get loads of Valor, or level 5 keys or 9 keys will probably be the meta again. Just anyone who hasn't done a 9 key gets invited as for bonus Valor, and then like 4 2,500 players will go and boost the rest of the score. I think there's plenty of opportunities to go and get Valor Cap, which will help us out. 408, 402, hopefully going to craft a new cape. We're trying to do like 11 pluses to get Primal Focus as well. 398 gloves, can't really upgrade them anymore without doing more PvP. Belt, we'll probably craft a Frostfire belt at one point with how good it is and drop the helmet. I just need a good helmet to drop. And I'll start like upgrading it and working on that. Um, legs, legs aren't too bad. Come with avoidance, pretty nice. Boots are pretty bad, honestly. And trinkets are 385 trinkets still. I want the not one from Knockhood, the kind of tank survivability one. I've literally never even seen it, so I don't imagine it's coming anytime soon. But yeah, I suppose at some point, if I really, really want it, we might farm Knockhood for Valor. Because I've still got like, so I've got 600 Valor. We've not spent 5k of it or 4,900 of it. What is hitting me so damn hard? I'm actually just going to go defensive stance. I'm getting bullied right now. 100 and... Oh wow, we've got 7 stacks or 6 stacks of Sever. So I'm taking 120% increased physical damage. That's tasty. Stacks fell off. That's fine. Go back to battle stance then. But yeah, I mean, I think we've got some big upgrades to make. Like I said, I'll probably go for the belt, farm the Knocker trinket, better shield would be nice. Got a 405 weapon already, so yeah, we've got some upgrades to make. Try and get this to like the 395, 400 eye level. Between that sort of level would be nice. And I think naturally, the last sort of 100 or 200 score to Keystone Master will be pretty easy. I can't imagine it being all too much challenge. I've really started not feeling well in like the last 20 minutes or so, which is not helpful. Like I said, have been up all day. It's now nearly 4:20 in the morning. So yeah, all going well. We'll nicely timed Ragnarok there. Faced it towards the group and close enough where I can still like actually use abilities on the boss. And you want to spread out afterwards. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. Look how clean that was. Gonna pick up the ads or certainly do some AoE to them. Bad time to get explosives. I swear sometimes it's rigged. Like sometimes you get explosives just at completely the worst time. And you have to imagine there's never a reason that would happen. Like the odds of that happening are so low unless it's guaranteed, right? Like, for us to get explosive, think about it. We've had one explosive otherwise. But for us to get explosive during the ads is quite unlucky. Now, I do want to see if I can stay ahead of this chamois for the rest of this run. Not to make the chamois feel bad, but because it would make me feel really good. I think our damage has been pretty solid so far. I was probably a little bit late there. I can't be blamed for not doing explosives now. Don't know if that still actually reduces the damage taken from Blaze, but I don't know. I don't know anymore. Now watch it. Are we going to get explosive here? Is it rigged? 3 flames of woe, maybe. Boom. And God King Scovold is down. Now, what do we want from this dungeon? That is the next question. That is the big question. What would be best? Now, Horn of Valor I don't really want. Gift of Radiance I would take purely for single target damage. You'd get macroed into something. Probably Avatar. Like, Strength is nice. Mastery's meh. But Leader of the Pack. Just for the extra strength and crit and everything it does, I would take that. Now, we've actually had a clean run. Not a single death so far. I say so far. And we're still 7 minutes. Now, you can do Odin in like 4. I think 4 is kind of the minimum amount of time you'd need. I think if you come upstairs with less than 10 minutes left on your timer, by coming upstairs, I mean like you've killed the sentinels, you're coming through the gate with the 4 NPCs and 2 bosses. I think 10 minutes is the minimum you would need. Anything less, you're really pushing it, and that's just because RP's a lot of it. Anything more, I think it could be quite. I think it's easily doable by then. So a lot of tanks will take the boss to the obliterator. I don't do that, and the reason I don't do that is because it gives you something to charge to or whatever on the way out. It also positions the surge better for like you're not going to run so far with the surge. I'm hoping it's this one. It is nice. I'm going to drag the boss to the middle here, mainly just so everyone else could jump on it as well. That was nice. Everyone grabbed their thing real quick. It's actually been a really solid group. Our DPS has been a little bit low. Kind of not pointing anyone out. Shammy. Our DPS has been a little bit low, but again, we haven't struggled on anything. Nothing's lasted a particularly long time to a point I'm dying. You'd kind of expect it on most fortified weeks. You'd probably want this dead by about now, I think. Oh, that's bad. I'm going to stand here and get... Oh, wow. Well done. That thundering clear was clutch. I'm not going to lie. We took an explosive for it, but the thundering clear was clutch and necessary. Ooh. What's everyone dying to? We've got Runic Brand coming in. It's red. I'm trying not to stand in everything ever. Going to use a rally here just to top people off, give them some extra time. My rally probably saved that priest life, honestly. And boom, we've got the kill. So what do we reckon we're going to get? Now, we had a Ruby Whelp Shell in our last dungeon, our last completed dungeon, so not necessarily due for loot, but we can hope. A man can hope. 54 score, pretty sound. Go away, let me open my chest. Just a Primal Focus and some Primal Chaos. Mote of Sanctification, nice. It's not a bad healing trinket, actually. It's quite a big burst heal. 51k, it's noticeable. And what else do we get? Anything Gucci? So we're at 240 exactly for Halls of Valor. Probably not... Ooh, a Horn of Valor as well. Nice. I'm going to ask for that and just see if he gives it to me. I would take that for Arms or Fury. But yeah, so let's just work out quickly. Oh, he's actually going to give it to me. That's so cool. Is he? Has he not got good enough trinkets to trade it? Nope. Savage. And he was going to give it as well. So yeah, overall, I mean, at 240 a dungeon, there's 8 dungeons. Ooh, that's bad math. We'd get 1920 score. So we're pretty close already. Like if we do 240 per dungeon, 1920, we're pretty close already. So is it 250? It can't be 250, surely. Is it 250? It is 250 in the Elite Dungeon. Okay, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think we're more than capable of hitting Keystone Master on this without too much of a trouble. Nice one chest on Halls of Valor. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and catch you later. Goodbye.